It's the Rundown, Thursday, February 29th. Get right into it. It's a leap day. Lawsuit says P. Diddy had sex with Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. People are alleging it is Meek Mill.
Well, I wonder why.
Well, there's a 70-page lawsuit filed by one of P. Diddy's producers. In it, there was a redacted name, but it said Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. And people, I mean, there's only like one guy that could be.
Dated Nicki Minaj and is a Philadelphia rapper.
They're saying it's Meek Mill. And the funniest part was Meek Mill got on Twitter and started denying it. And the tweets that he was sending out, I don't know if we have one of them, but he's talking about like, I love pussy so much, juicy pussy.
It sounds
one
like
love to gay people, but I love juicy pussy. And I was
sounds like what
right.
a gay guy would say if he was like, trying to pretend to be straight.
100%.
I fucking love juicy pussy.
That's what Pat quote tweeted it. Yeah. Pat's gay, I don't know if you know.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, that's what I used to say to my friends in high school. You know what I mean?
It's like the gayest straight thing I've ever heard said.
Yeah.
Bag of sand.
Have you ever said to a straight friend of yours, hey, this girl's got a juicy like, ugh, like that is.
I've never, like, you're out with the boys having a couple of beers and you say, one love to the gay people, but that juicy pussy, do it for me.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like, no straight guy is saying that.
How fucking great would it be if this whole thing was just a small typo and it's actually Meek Phil?
Yeah, this
Phil's
whole
just been
time.
getting it from P. Diddy.
Meek Mill's been getting fucking reamed by P. Diddy.
The Mets on in the background.
Someone mentioned this to me. I think it was John Rich was talking about this being on the Rundown, and I was like, Meek Phil is being alleged to have had sex with P. Diddy? What? Like, how did Meek Phil get involved in this? But, yeah.
Yeah, just taking some sips of Ciroc at night. Things get a little crazy.
You think
Meek Phil gets bent over the counter.
Everybody knows him, but what's the cutoff? I had told you before you came on, I have a 13-year-old daughter, and when I mentioned this story to my wife at dinner, I didn't get into it. It's not dinner conversation, but I said, oh, it looks like P. Diddy's in trouble. And my daughter's like, oh, really? I was like, you know P. Diddy? She's like, yeah, my friends and I, follow Pete Davidson. Like, she thought that was who P. Diddy was. So is that, like, are you guys the last generation that knows fucking P. Diddy?
I think because of Making the Band. Like P. Diddy. Yeah, I guess he was in something like Shake Your Tail Feather with Nelly. And yeah, he had some songs. But still, it was.
No, I mean, like I know everything.
Yeah.
Now they're saying he was in the car with Biggie and Pac, but he didn't get shot because he was going down on one of them. Like,
Yep. Heard that a lot. There's a lot of rumors now.
Yeah.
A lot of rumors about P. Diddy and what he's been up to.
No one clears this all up is fucking J-Lo.
Yeah, true.
Because they were married.
That's right.
Yeah. You think she'll talk?
And she's fearless, right? She's got nothing to hide, I don't think. So
maybe it'll be in like her new movie video thing she's making, wherever the hell that is.
And there's also, and these are all allegations, which we said from the onset, but I think Usher's name was bandied about too.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Part of it.
Diddy like found Usher, and then Usher found Bieber, and there's like there's a whole web of.
There's always like circles with this. Yeah. Like a coaching tree almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what?
Says the footnote strongly suggested the possibility of two superstar celebrities, Meek Mill and Usher.
Mm-hmm.
But what? So, fucking P. Diddy?
Well, P. Diddy's fucking them. I'm assuming he's the top here.
Yes.
Our top. Okay.
I believe so. Yes, as I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you like go through the lawsuit, there's stuff being like P. Diddy saying if you hook up with this person, I'll make you like producer of the year, get you a Grammy.
Wait, so like he can watch
like,
or?
Yeah, I think it was in the studio, and he was like, yeah.
The reason I'm not throwing too many stones is if you were guaranteed the success that Usher is going to have, right?
In the Super Bowl
and stuff, would you get tanked in the ass by P. Diddy? As a father of
one
three,
time?
I'm lit different, and I say yes.
Just one time?
Well, yeah, let's go three. Not even the Baker's dozen.
Does he get to pick when? Because he can do like one now and then like
I don't
three.
Think he can pull you out of mass and do it, but yeah, I think he's. So let's give him a 6-month window.
To do it 3 times.
Yeah, and you have a 3-day run up in order maybe to clean out or whatever you think would be
like
best,
a
not
colonoscopy
eating
or
spicy
something?
food. Would you do it?
Get fucked by P. Diddy 3 times.
3 times in 6 months. John, you're a resounding yes.
I think it has to be yes. Usher is so huge.
Yeah, to have an Usher-like career.
Right.
Right.
I'm not cleaning out before though.
Oh no, you're gonna make him earn it? Oh yeah. It's gonna hurt him twice.
Make him want, but then he's gonna keep going longer. Almost we want him to go finish quicker. You want it to be as
clean and
possible.
yeah, okay.
Right?
Oof.
You might want a little grit.
Your old man jeans took you as long as you could, and then they picked in. And they're like, "Oh, these fucking gays."
That's why we have so many hurricanes. I thought like somebody had thrown around Epstein type scandal, Epstein level type scandal. I don't think it is, right? I mean,
It's significantly more alleged based
Right.
on the Epstein thing is right now.
Right. And I think the Epstein thing is a little.
And P. Diddy's not locked up yet.
And he doesn't own an
Right.
island.
He's still alive.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that Wallow and Gilly got a
Shout out, yeah.
pretty positive shout out, right?
Yeah, he was shitting on DJ Academics.
He
Meek
gets shit
Mill
on
was.
a lot.
Yeah.
Academics is like a punching bag for the rap.
And he said, like, real kids listen to Wallow and Gilly.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Real
that's awesome.
kids with Kai and Dean on a Wallow and Gilly, you sick old black man with no life achievements trying to destroy black. I appreciate how you put black men in there because I read the original tweets. They didn't have that because the NBA says men. Yeah. Pussy don't control me.
Was he going,
But it's like a
But it's
high.
like a high,
That's
yeah.
how straight guys describe pussy.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, boy, this girl's pussy.
That's what I said when I was addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
It doesn't control me. It's just something I like.
I just love it.
He, like typing out like it's like a porn title is just like so brutally telling on himself in that one moment.
I do respect the one love to gay people. Like
Yeah, one love.
That was his next line.
If it's true, but if there was no coercion, like if there was consent and everyone was of age, if he comes through this, no problem? P. Diddy, or is he done? P.
Oh,
done.
I think if everyone's of age and it's consent, it's fine. But it sounds like he was like grooming people and like making people do
Okay.
shit.
And he's in trouble.
Okay, I got to get a little deeper into it. I guess.
Yeah.
Did he do it?
That's the New York Post tomorrow. That's the headline.
Yeah. And Pussy Don't Control Me is the
Pussy Don't-
T-shirt, right?
Oh, fuck yeah.
For the record, Pussy Controls Me.
I think that's like a Wu-Tang lyric.
Is it?
Pussy control me. I don't know.
Cash rules everything around.
Yeah. Antonio Brown calls Antonio Brown calls Barstool Sports employees crackers. Antonio Brown had a tweet with a sweet AI-generated image of a bunch of crackers typing at a computer because Jerry Thornton defended Tom Brady, and Antonio Brown was not happy about it. Dave Portnoy and his minions defending Tom Brady was the caption on the tweet. Dave tweeted out, "Funny is funny," and I have to agree. It's a funny. What's up, John Rich? No. All right. It's a very funny tweet. But Antonio Brown, definitely CTE, definitely brain damage.
Can I say though that is probably the most astute observation he's had since getting CTE.
That is true.
That is 100% accurate.
I wonder if he knows that, or if he just has like people in his ear being like, "Yo, it's a bunch of white people at Barstool Sports."
I mean, no, that's just correct. It's the most intelligent thing I've seen him tweet or post or say
Yeah, but does
last
he?
10 years.
Is he making that observation? Or does he have like people around him that are like, "Hey, this would be funny"?
I think he has people he sees around him. If that makes
What did
sense.
Clem say?
May not be real.
Clem said that's an unrealistic picture because the office is too clean.
Okay,
Fair.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand funny's funny, but it's also racist as fuck, right? Like, you're gonna have a bunch of crackers and stuff, and then
It's a
everyone's
fact.
saying- yeah, I mean, and some guy had commented. I almost commented back, but obviously it's like punching the tide. They don't employ a single black person. You know what I mean?
That's not true.
given.
You should talk about Wallow and Gilly.
Yeah, my good friend Za counts for half one at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ebony and a couple more. So it's not true, but yeah, I mean, I guess we can throw around cracker if you're Antonio Brown. It's the same thing when we used to talk about him on the radio. We kind of cut him a wide berth because we think that he's either CTE or legitimately insane. You know?
Yeah.
So
I also just don't take offense to Cracker.
no, I don't
just
mind
don't.
it. Yeah.
Just don't.
I mean, it's right. I don't mind cracker, but it is what it is. Right?
It is like the old Lucy K bit. Like there is almost no slur for a white person.
Right.
Sorry, Cracker doesn't offend me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'm going to be offended. Fuck Antonio Brown, racist prick.
I like this tweet by Antonio Brown.
You want us to bring it up? Yeah. You
want us
me
to bring
say it,
you
yeah.
just lingering on
Yeah,
this
you
tweet
just-
of him calling
He called Caitlin Clark, said she looked like Mel Gibson.
not even really close. If it was a more accurate call, I might be like, okay, it's funny, but
Oh, and
he doesn't.
He just randomly tweeted, "Bitch look like Mel Gibson." Yeah.
But he doesn't look like Mel Gibson. She doesn't look like Mel Gibson.
No, he's just an unhinged person.
Yeah.
He tweets crazy shit.
Yeah.
He's one of the best follows.
Yeah.
I would tell you, Jerry did write a good blog about it. The blog that got it started about Antonio kind of jumping on that about Giselle banging a coach.
He always talks about Antonio Brown always talks about Giselle and like banging the coach, but he also posts the picture of them hugging at the Super Bowl, Antonio Brown and Giselle, and alludes to the fact that they had sex at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when Antonio Brown was going crazy, I mean, Tom Brady invited him to stay in his home and
Couple
live with
times.
him for
Yeah.
weeks. And then Antonio Brown repay somebody doing that. So it's just a scumbag move.
Imagine if Giselle was having like an affair with one of her students. Jerry would have a field day.
Oh, blow up the world.
Yeah.
Jerry Thornton.
In a
I did
field
a blog. I can't even remember what it was. And I sat down, I typed it, and then you're about to submit it to the editor. And I did just as Jerry's blog on the same topic hit. Oh, it was on Cara Dune.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So
good, yeah.
what the hell's her name again? Gina Carano.
Yeah, Gina Carano.
Yeah, Gina Carano. We're having Elon Musk pick up her legal fees against Disney or whatever. And, like a lot of times you're like, oh, just put it out there. But Jerry's such a good fucking writer that you don't want it to be apples to apples.
No. You don't want your blog compared to his.
Yeah.
You'll be trounced.
Yeah. So shout out to Jerry Thornton and all this. And fuck you, Antonio
Yeah,
Brown.
a new beef added to the log.
I mean,
Funny isn't funny, Dave.
If I were to
We're not crackers.
put in like Urban Dictionary like a picture to accompany the word cracker, it would be Jerry Thornton.
Yes,
he looks like a
exactly.
cracker.
Or me, or Clem.
Yeah. I think you and Jerry specifically, like if I had a picture
old
of a
black
fucking
guys.
cracker, like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right there.
Two more of us would be asleep.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs superfan, Chiefsaholic, lawyer speaks
criminal.
out in the weirdest video ever. Chiefsaholic's looking at 50 years in prison and about $500,000 in restitution payments for the bank robberies that he did. But his lawyer came out and just did a bunch of football puns and told Chiefs Kingdom to rally around him like he robbed banks. He didn't.
Bad guy, thug, criminal.
Yeah, he didn't
locked
like
up
save
forever.
someone's life or do something. Yeah.
$500,000 in restitution payments, money laundering, transporting stolen property across state lines, 50 years in prison with bank robbery. This is fucking big deal.
Yeah, I can't stand though the puns.
Yeah.
It's like he got paid per the pun.
Well, like whenever Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce started dating, all they started doing was puns on like ESPN, just of her songs, and it's like, why are we doing this? And then his lawyer comes out and just does all these weird like, in the pocket, getting blitzed.
From the beginning of this case, the government's been blitzing, and Xavier's pocket is collapsing. But today he stepped up into the pressure. That's awful.
Bad puns.
I hope he has a tight end if he winds up in
Prison, yeah. Well, I guess you would
Doesn't
the opposite.
Fumble the soap.
You'd want the opposite of a tight end.
Yeah,
'Cause
you
then
want-
it's gonna
yeah,
be a rougher
lose
ride
them.
for you.
Yeah.
But I think this is indicative of all. As a Chargers fan, I can tell you it's indicative of all Chiefs fans out there. Both this lawyer and Chiefsaholic himself. It's a sad day that the champions are represented by scumbag, criminal losers like this. So it is what it is. Hate to see it.
Has there been anything like this with like a fan of any other sports team? Like he was robbing banks.
I mean,
and
Bolt-
his Chiefsaholic.
All credit to Boltman, representative of the Chargers, went to court to try to defend the establishment of the franchise in San Diego and stop them from moving to LA. That's what our franchise is about. Theirs is about robbing and stealing and taking illicit goods across state lines.
Boltman's like a superhero.
Literal superhero. And then you got scumbags like this and Raiders fans who are the worst.
Like I'm surprised. Like Fireman Ed. Like has he robbed the bank? Like
No, but I don't get Fireman Ed.
Fireman Ed gave up. He quit on the franchise, and then he's like,
quitter.
and then he tried to come back and be like, "Hey, everybody, I'm here,"
took him back. The
and they
Jets
took him back.
That was the most pathetic thing I'd ever seen, and it really pisses me off that the Jets accepted him back. And Jets fans I know, like mostly, still don't really like him, but like that, I think that the Jets as an organization should have banned him for life for giving up on the franchise, gone forever.
It's the Jets, though.
But East Coast are like, we're
Get a new guy.
we're hard on people. We're not gonna just like let someone come crawling back, and they did. They let
Gave
him
up.
crawl
I'm
right
quitting
back.
on you. Like everyone else sitting there suffering through the Jets fandom,
Yeah, you're
and he
right.
quit on them.
Yeah.
And he vocally quit. That I hate that. I hate that.
Bring in Mangold.
Mangold will be the great
I
representative.
didn't lead the chance.
Fireman, yeah.
But I think Fireman Ed gets on someone's shoulders. I think Nick Mangold might have a little trouble. Doesn't he like get on someone's shoulders and like lead the chant sometime?
I think he just does it from like the
Big
top of like
motherfucker,
the
though.
thing or something. I need more of his hot sauce, or barbecue sauce, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Classic stuff.
Yeah.
No free ads.
Shout out, Nick.
Yeah.
Kanye's wife, Bianca, may face prison time for walking around Paris with her vagina out. Bianca was photographed in Paris in a revealing outfit. She was wearing sheer see-through stockings with no underwear. Her vagina was fully exposed. She is reportedly facing 1 year in prison or fined 15,000 euros.
Fucking girls can't have fun anymore?
I mean, Paris is like the fashion capital of the world. You'd think if there's any place you can walk around with your vagina out in some stockings, it's Paris. But apparently not.
I assumed all of Western Europe was just like that. That there was
Yeah.
like Eastern Europe, yeah, you're gonna have a rougher time. But I figured Western Europe, that's just cool.
Yeah, I mean, Ireland's in Western Europe. You don't see a lot of Colleens.
I don't. Yeah.
know.
Let's say mainland Western Europe, I guess. Let's be more geographically specific.
Airing out the peat.
Yeah.
But, I started following. I don't follow Kanye, but I follow her because she wears some wild ass shit, and she's intriguing to me.
Yeah.
So I tried to see the unblurred images of this. 52-year-old bonk. I don't give a fuck.
I couldn't find them.
I couldn't find them. Yeah. I did some extensive stuff until my phone blew up. But
I will say,
I will find them.
think about it this way.
Go.
She's not a pervert. She's just Italian.
Yeah.
Just Italian.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And like it's literally in her name, Censori. She doesn't want to be Censori anymore.
Censori, yeah.
She wants to be uncensori.
Yeah, you're right. I think if you're going to get away with this anywhere, it's New York or Paris.
Yeah.
Right? Like those would be the two places that you would think.
Exactly. I mean, Kanye made the most famous song about Paris. You figure he could get away with anything there.
Yeah.
I mean, New York City, you can do whatever you want. You can swing a pipe in front of the office at people, and then you're right back into your spot 2 hours later.
We have a homeless camp outside the office.
Absolutely.
Did anyone
Right,
talk
I'll
about
go-
that already? About the homeless guy?
Right.
So there's a homeless guy that lives outside of our office, and I was walking in one day. I think I told you, and he called me a bubble butt, and I was wearing like an overcoat.
funny.
And, like I have a lot of things wrong with me. But
Yeah.
perfect ass. And I didn't say anything back. I just kind of went about my way, and I thought the guy was kind of harmless. But then he swung a pipe at Jordan.
Jordan
Berry, right?
Berry?
I believe so.
JB?
Yeah, so
Why?
she was there, and the guy
Holy
picked up a
shit.
pipe and took a poke at her, missed her, and Jordan, who works booking all the talent that you see on
Versace,
all
yeah.
these shows, she's wonderful. Donated a kidney to her dad.
Yeah.
Jordan's
Oh, you're talking about that
superhero.
Jordan.
I love her.
I thought you were going to say the other Jordan came out to help her.
Oh yeah.
So they-
And then fucking Pat, who's our favorite security guard in the world, right?
yeah,
He's
yeah.
the fucking greatest. He went down because Jordan came up, obviously upset, and said, "Pat, this is what's going on." He went, and I think the guy kind of made a run at Pat before they called the cops and packed him up. He's had that little rat pile there, with like rotten food,
Yeah, yeah,
Rat
yeah.
nest,
that.
yeah.
So
No, they took him down to the station, and he was gone for about 3 hours, and then 3 hours later, he's just back in his spot. Back
Maybe
in
he might be the
his nest.
nicest human here, taking a swing at hers. That's like taking a swing at God. That's
yeah,
crazy.
Her and Pat, another two of the nicest
Yeah,
guys.
that's
And
wild.
then 3 days later, the guy's doing AI cracker references with Barstool.
Yeah, there it is.
They-
Yeah,
they-
nice connection.
Antonio Brown
Yeah.
is fucking homeless.
But yeah, you can do whatever you want in New York. You can walk around with your pussy out. No
Yeah.
one will care.
think
No one will bat
so.
an eye. No one will bat an eye.
Yeah.
I would not even take a picture. I'd just be like, guess what I saw? Like, I might text someone and be like, some lady's walking around with her vagina
Right.
out. But
Yeah.
I was in Port Authority and I'd seen a homeless man masturbating to a homeless woman who was taking a shit. And I was like, you don't see that on the brochure, but that's like,
That's fair, yeah.
And Port Authority, a lot of people coming into New York for
Yeah.
the first time, and that's that's
First
what
thing you see.
Yeah, as you're buying the fucking Bank of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I love New York shirt.
Large, what is the weirdest thing you've seen in New York? You've
That's
lived in
up
New York
there.
your
I
whole-
remember I went to school on the Lower East Side, and back when Dinkins was mayor, it was pretty bad. Bulletproof fucking glass and paper hats. And I had stepped in bum vomit, and I was so fucking pissed. I threw my book bag, and it landed in bum shit. And it's like before they sold like fucking bottled water.
Yeah.
That's how old I am.
Yeah.
So I went and got like a seltzer from a bodega to wipe, like kind of try to spray off my bag. And while I was there, I got a Chocodile because you got to treat yourself. And a Chocodile is a chocolate Twinkie, but it wasn't in a clear plastic thing like a Twinkie. It had like a non-see-through wrapper. So I took a bite of Chocodile, pulled the rest down. There was another bite on the other end already. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, that's a
You know
bad
what I
day.
mean?
It's a rough
It's a bad
day.
Tough day
You
for a
just
New Yorker.
That's a rough day.
Yeah. And then the guy jerking off to the girl taking the shit is also up there.
That's a
on the
rough
line.
one.
Yeah.
Did you get a new backpack, or did you just keep?
Yeah, I got
hold
the
that
new one. Yeah, I just
Okay.
took my books out.
How you throw that one out?
Cut
Yeah.
bait, kept the
Yep.
shoes, ditched the backpack.
Homeless guy got a free backpack, too.
Yeah.
What about you, Ken Jack? You lived here.
I think very early, like probably like when I was 22 when I moved here, and one of the first things I saw was like my first like commute train down, just sitting there in the train, really packed one train coming down from like literal like way up, and just a homeless guy just cranking one out. Right,
Oh,
right
really?
in front of me. Like I turned and it just like you couldn't like you do it. It was polite. He was doing it underneath his pants, but just
Yeah.
it was beating the shit up. It was bad.
At least he was
gotta do it,
polite
you
about
gotta
it.
do it, yeah.
And make a little cubicle kind of.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting transition. Comedian Richard Lewis passes away of a heart attack at 76. The comedian was most recently known for playing himself in Curb Your Enthusiasm. He got diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, I believe. He's also appeared in Robin Hood Men in Tights. I think he was the bad guy in that,
was.
the king. Anything But Love, Seventh Heaven, and Leaving Las Vegas. Fun fact, Richard Lewis and Larry David were born 3 days apart from each other in the same hospital. They've known each other most of their lives.
They went to the same Jewish summer camp together when they were 13. And then, I think it's called All American. And then they lost contact. 14
They said they hated
years.
each other too.
They hated
right?
each other
Yeah.
at camp. Yeah, then they lost contact, and then they reconnected like 14 years later when they were in their 20s, and then became fast friends. And then I think Larry put out the statement, I was sobbing uncontrollably because of the passing of Richard Lewis. I'll never forgive him
Yeah.
for doing this to me. Larry made it about himself, which is a good thing. We just did the podcast, Bibbs and I, History's Toughest Jews, right? And we put a bunch of good ones in. Neither of those guys were on that fucking list. I mean, Richard Lewis seems like you could fucking knock him out with a paper straw, particularly at the end.
He's just a hysterical dude. So funny on Kirby Enthusiasm. So funny. Really
stand-up
dry,
was
dark.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like back in the day, he was like an elite stand-up.
Yeah.
Because he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, was there any like urgency to get the last season of Curb out? Because I know this is the last season.
Yeah, I don't know, but they talk about like one of the last episodes was them cracking all these jokes about him putting Larry into his will. So there's a whole bunch of jokes about that. Yeah,
that's right.
Just in this last, I think not this last episode, but before.
And Larry said, the only reason you're putting me in because you want to be in mine.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna do it."
Yeah. It was a really funny episode too. That was a really good one. Yeah, really funny dude. Sucks to lose him.
That's the type of guy. Like, I don't know if you ever heard, but Mel Brooks has a theater in his house. And he used to invite over Carl Reiner, and they used to watch movies almost like a Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, just commentate on it.
Comments on it. And even if you're not a fan of both of those guys, you got to think to be a fly on the wall during this filming of them, tearing apart. Even like an old Mel Brooks movie would be
two of the funniest dudes, man. They were
same thing. Like
hysterical.
Larry and Richard. If you sat down at a fucking deli with them and kind of hung out, it must be absolutely amazing. So big loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After show. Ben Mintz is donating $1,000 to the Miss Peaches Fund. If you watch the Unnamed show today, the show's had a short run, but an all-time moment so far when Ben Mintz What's up? Nothing. When Ben Mintz got kicked off the show for saying he's donating $1,000 of his like 14K winnings to the Miss Peaches Fund.
To show as a gesture of goodwill. And because I love what Dave's doing with Miss Peaches, donating $1,000 of my own money to your Lifeline charity out of my pocket.
You won 14. That is maybe the most
that's 1/14 of your paycheck.
Get him off. That was the most insulting thing he's done.
No, bring him back.
Disgusting.
I think he thought that was going to be the hammer too.
Disgusting. This is why he'll never be fixed. I thought for sure he's doing the whole thing.
At least half.
That was. I've thought about it deeply. I'm going to give 1/14 of what I've won. This is why he'll never be fixed.
You thought that was going to be the hammer.
You don't think the $1,000 is going to solve all the problems with this charity?
That's 1/8 of Miss Peach's goddamn bowl.
I cannot believe the way he said that. I've given this deep thought. And I'm going to donate $1,000. You won 14,000.
Hold on.
Large found this guy on TikTok. What is his name? Steve does it?
Steve does talk. What is it?
Sean does it.
Sean does talks. Shout out to him. I know he's picked up a ton of followers, and he has a TikTok out lamenting how he's gotten his followers, because I think he's a legitimate comedian and whatnot. I haven't followed him, so I don't know anything about it, but incredibly talented the way that he does Dave's voice, and he walks in on, a knife next to a dead body saying, "Peaches, how'd you learn to use a knife?" And then he's got another one with like the nuclear football, like, "How'd you get the nuclear codes?" He's very, very funny, this dude. And fucking Mincy winning 14K and then donating 1,000. I wrote the blog. Miss Peaches is the worst thing that ever happened to Ben Mintz.
And then that day,
as soon as I hit fucking send on it, that's what had happened. Because Dave's, all of Dave's like compassion now goes to a dog that eats his hats and his wallets and his stuff. And that compassion and money and time used to be dedicated to Ben Mintz.
Who did it more of like metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, exactly. He would do the same thing though, eat into his wallet and shit on his rug, and now he doesn't have that patience anymore. So Ben's fucked. So I don't know what the fallout of this because it only happened last night. Or did it happen today?
Just today.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Out of 14 grand. So
I think the way Ben was struggling to explain it because he had backers. He had to pay back his backers. He did a piss poor job of trying to explain like how much money he actually made out of this tournament. And I think it would have come off a little bit better if he did a better job explaining that. But that's just the mince effect.
But I know he made more than 1,000.
I think he made 2,500 total.
Oh, really? That's it.
Yeah, and the rest went to his backers.
Okay, I thought it was 14K.
Okay.
So it was 14,000. I thought it was a $2,500, and we won't. I thought it was a $2,500 buy-in that he had to pay back. So I thought like his take was somewhere 10 or 11 grand. But let's say it was only 2,500. That's the easiest decision to make. This is what I made. Here's the fucking receipt.
Yeah.
You got it all. 2,500. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Ben just consistently managing to put his foot in his back. And I'm a Ben stan, almost a Ben simp.
Same teammate.
Hogs with the cause with him. Yeah. So that team is stacked, by the way. So, thoughts and prayers, but he can't fucking get a break, that kid.
Yeah, poor guy.
Is Marty over there? Yeah.
Yeah, Marty.
Got to hit off a major league player.
So Marty and I are like casual friends. Every time he does something physical like this, I'm a huge fucking, I'm pulling for Marty no matter what he does this.
Yeah, more than anything
He's been
else.
saying for a while how he could bat 100 off major league pitchers.
Yeah.
I think I was like, no way. There's not a chance. It's a
When
major
he
league
fought
pitcher.
Rough and Rowdy, I was the only guy that they called him, right? We had the radio show, we brought him in. I was the only guy when he fought Matt Brown.
Oh, no.
Matt Brown.
I was the only guy. I was like, well, I'm fucking, I just shouldn't say I'm the only guy. I'm sure there were a bunch, but I was very vocal about it. And I got into it. And then the only reason I get into this fucking thing is because him. I don't know why I find love. I'm the only one who finds him love.
If you
I think
Definitely not.
I was like, it was honestly the coolest thing I've ever done. I was like, baseball, I played baseball growing up, and it was like facing major league pitchers is always a cool thing. And the funny thing is, like, people are like, oh, like, these pitchers just suck. It's like, I think I might just be good.
Yeah, no one's gonna give you your flowers.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
The goal line gets changed every time.
But it was seriously so, and I also give credit to the pitchers because they're in such a lose-lose situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like if he strikes me out 5 times, it's like, well,
You're supposed to,
you're in
yeah.
major leagues. And then he texted me today. He goes, the entire clubhouse is ripping me apart.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm sorry, but he was a good sport about it.
Yeah. I was concerned early on. I was like, you're gonna get like all old retired pitchers or something like that, and I'm like, yeah, if you get hit off them, I'll be like, it's still obviously impressive,
Yeah.
not as like these are legitimately very good pitchers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Incredible pitchers.
I was a little shocked, honestly, but it was. Fucking, you think other pitchers are gonna want to reach out and be like, I need to make sure I strike him out, or like, fuck this, I'm staying away?
It's more dangerous now.
They're
I
like
don't know.
staying away,
They
right?
have nothing to win.
The next logical step is you have to try to strike out a major league batter.
This guy did strike out Shohei Ohtani twice.
Wow. What was it clocked at? Do you know the pitch that you got around on?
95.
Really?
Yeah.
When you see a 95-mile-an-hour ball coming at you, are you just kind of sticking your bat out there and hoping you make contact, or are you just watching it the whole time?
I swear to God, it sounds very cocky of me, but the first 2 I saw, I was like, okay, that's fast as shit. But then I started like seeing it, and I could kind of time it up. But the curveballs and shit, that was out of. I hit some, but they were out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. People saying I ended Trevor Bauer's career too.
Dude, Bowers were the sound of that pitch hitting the mitt was so loud.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy.
It was wild. I don't know why I was more calm in this. It made no sense, but it was fun.
You did outside, and then you did Trevor Bauer's inside. What was easier to hit, inside or outside?
Outside.
Really?
Inside, they seem like they're 5 feet away from you.
Yeah.
It was so scary, especially his pitches were moving a ton. But yeah, his was really scary.
Does this get added to the Barstool brand list, you think?
Yeah, hopefully. Actually, Greer did text me. He goes, I am making sure the Marty vs. the Majors gets on the brand list. But yeah, Trevor Bauer breaking down me in the batter's box was kind of funny.
That's kind of sick.
Like I was Shohei Ohtani or something.
That's awesome, man.
I'd be so terrified.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How many more episodes are there?
3. Well, Bauer kind of put his out, but mine's like a little different. The pitching is all the same, but we have JP Sears and Kyle Freeland next.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Can't wait.
Can't
Thank
wait,
you guys.
Good for you, brother.
Congrats, Marty. Next up, Klimmer's solitary confinement. Next Monday, Klimmer's going to be going into a room
So excited for this.
below the office. I don't know why it's called the Shoegasm Studio. I don't know why they're like,
basement,
they
yeah.
made a shoe store and they're like, let's call it Shoegasm. Like,
Yeah.
what a horny name for a shoe store. But Klimmer's going to be going into solitary confinement for 100 hours. He won't have any contact with people. He'll have challenges to do. Yeah.
He's allowed to bring one book, I believe.
He's allowed to, so yeah, when you go into like solitary confinement, you're allowed one religious text. And instead of bringing like a Bible or the Quran, he's bringing his sports encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Which goes from like 1971 to like 2006.
I don't know if you know this. Klimmer was actually a part of like 15 different religions at one point.
Really?
He said like his dad just kept converting constantly, and like he's been in like a bunch of different religions. So I think it is more fair for him to be a universalist with the baseball reference.
Yeah.
Makes more sense.
Yeah.
So break that down for me. So he's going to go just over 4 days, right?
Yep.
In a room by himself.
Yep.
There'll be no contact. People sliding him food, or
So I'll be sliding him food.
oh, you will.
There'll be a voice of God speaker that'll kind of talk to him. He was gonna have the Rumble chat in there, but we got it. We've done away with the Rumble chat. There was like two things. Like it's stimulation with the Rumble chat, but it also would have been kind of funny if there was just people just feeding him bullshit in the chat. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the president's dead. Like he's
right,
just like
right.
what?
Yes, yeah.
But we're going no chat, so he won't have that. We've managed to cut back on some stuff. He's supposed to have like a Nerf hoop. He blogged about it, but he won't have a basketball hoop in there. It was coming a little like a college dorm
Too
room.
fun.
Yeah, too fun.
Well, it's a little more torturous.
Yeah, but the challenges are even a little bit of stimulation, so it's not complete solitary confinement. He's doing something to keep the stream entertaining, so it's not just a man pacing back and forth in a room. The bathroom in there is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. There's like shit growing in the urinal.
Really?
It's pretty bad.
Can he shower?
There's no shower in there. He'll just have
No,
dude.
4 days sun shower.
Yep, he'll have some dude wipes. That's
It's
it.
gonna look like he was just liberated from Birkenau when they pull him out of there. That's gonna be rough
He
to look
already
at.
does kind of.
Yeah, already.
In the bench press, I've seen bigger fucking arms on the face of a clock. Right?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I kind of gave him like a squeeze on the arm one time, and it was just amazing. Like the t-shirt,
all the way around.
t-shirt just like went in. I was like, whoa, okay. I didn't realize. Yeah.
Nothing but bones.
But Klimmer solitary confinement Monday to Friday of next week. It should be entertaining. We have no idea what's gonna happen. We have no idea how it'll. He could go crazy.
Is he doing another rat race?
Do another rat race.
He is, yeah. He's doing that right now.
yeah.
I think he's
we back
opening
in
stuff
No,
up.
we didn't get the call back.
Okay,
Since
good.
we were the first team eliminated, we didn't get the call back. Which I get.
Okay, yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Okay with it.
But yeah, solitary confinement, rat race, 2 weeks from now. So, hell yeah.
Good episode of the bracket out now too, by the way. Worst fashion trend.
Worst fashion trends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was asking about your big ass suits earlier.
Oh yeah, the big pleats and the big suits. All right, cool.
Ever have frosted tips?
Frosted. I did have shoulder pads.
Without spoiling the ending, what do you think is the worst fashion trend? What do you?
For me personally?
Yeah, because the bracket had some good ones, but honestly, a lot of them I was like, these kind of rule.
I had a lot of-
rubber band, like the Livestrong bracelets.
Yeah.
Those rocked.
The one I really hated, and it's recency bias, but the broccoli haircut of recent era is really just. I look at him like this person is going to regret this so much when they get older.
No,
They see
no,
these
like
pictures.
no cap, sus.
Yeah,
You
like
say that
those.
stuff.
Yeah. Just like that haircut is awful.
You
really terrible.
threw shade at the ski slope haircut where it's like
The gelled up ramp.
yeah.
Front flip.
I rocked
had
that
it.
back in the day.
I had that with frosted tips.
I wanted frosted tips so fucking bad, but my mom wouldn't let me do
We were
it.
too poor to get the actual
Yeah.
one, so we did gel coloring. It was really bad.
I think you can do like lemon juice, and then sit in the sun, and it turns
oh,
your
rock
hair.
Oxide and stuff, and there's a whole bunch of other things. But using that gel 100% made my hairline retreat
Large. What was the
much
word?
faster.
What was
We used to wear two-tone jeans, so the from here back would be like either solid blue or solid black, and then from here forward would be acid wash blue or acid wash black. They're called two-tones. They're big in Brooklyn. Skips, the slip-ons.
Yeah.
You know, nothing. The skips are decks. One of them had laces.
Do you have Jerry curl?
No, I used to have a nameplate. It looked like almost like a playing card. It said Michael down it, Playboy bunny with a diamond chip in its eye, Starburst with a diamond chip here. You could use it to cut lines if that was your thing back in the day.
Members only jacket?
Yeah, I was one of the members. Orange 15 shirt. I had the zipper haircut. Fucking push back on both sides.
You were definitely wearing FUBU.
100% because it fit.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those urban brands were good for me.
Yeah, Jinkos was on there too. Although I'm not sure if you were a Jinkos guy.
Jinko guys, but they didn't fly in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
but if I could show you some stuff and make your fucking toes grow. I made some bad decisions over the days. Still making them.
Yeah. All right. Bracket. Check it out. Check out Marty getting a hit.
Twisted history.
Twisted history.
Yeah.
And Clemmer solitary confinement.
Clemmer solitary confinement. Yep. That's the rundown. Thanks, everybody.